What about like the elements as far as rain, stuff like that? How does that play in insurance and, doing an event? We never did an event outside, and one of the reasons why is because of that, right? So how does that play in?
Yeah, it's tough.
Sleepless nights.
I'm like the director of operations, right? And she's the creative director for the business. It's super tough. There's so much unpredictability in events in general, and adding the weather is another element that it's sleepless nights. We've had, oftentimes venues that we work with, there's no rain day, right? That's it. And then, we have insurances that that are enormous numbers that we have to pay for in case that there's a natural disaster or a weather condition where folks have to evacuate, and then they may get some of the portion of the ticket sales back. We may get that, but we wouldn't get fully 100% reimbursed at all. It would be a significant loss even with the insurance. And some weather conditions, we've gone through every weather condition.
Oh yeah, remember
the first one, the monsoon, right? Yeah, I mean, it was literally like, through God's grace, no one got hurt. But probably one of our very first Curlfest back in Prospect Park.
Yeah,
we don't really talk about it much, but we have pictures of those times. And right when Curlfest was about to be over, when we had a great day, and then the sky opened up, and it was literally a hurricane that came through.
Yeah,
trees falling, everybody had to run to safety, and we couldn't clean up the place. The cleaning crew had to leave, right, and everyone had to go run to safety, like things flying literally everywhere. We get back to. Should I tell the story? It's over. So we get back to, like 4 a.m. Okay, guys, the stop raining. Let's go clean up. And it's a disaster. It is a disaster. There are things everywhere. At that time, Curlfest was free. And so folks could bring in whatever they could bring in, right? And the one thing they called it in Brooklyn was they called them the dog walkers, right? There's a demographic of folks.
Yeah.
That would be up at 5 a.m. Just make sure the place is clean, that Prospect Park is back to where it used to be, what it looks like before the first dog walker hits the grass. And that did not happen. And all we saw were the dog walkers out there with pictures with our brand on the ground, right? Taking pictures and sending them to all these communities all over social media. All of their, not in my backyard communities that were like, we don't want this kind of debauchery back in our space, even though it was literally a hurricane, right? And so those are the types of things that started Curlfest, right? And it was like, we can never get through this again. We were like in tears, picking up trash with our hands, like they might have been like, we didn't have security at that time. So there was a liquor bottle next to a Curlfest banner. That's what they associated, right? Yeah. That they didn't associate community and like beautiful spaces and family event. They associated, this event of color that came into our backyard and destroyed our park. So we had to get through that.
Which we did.
We had to rebuild the brand and move, right? We begged and begged and begged to stay in Brooklyn. We still here to this day. 10 years later, we hear people saying, it's never been the same since you left Brooklyn, right? And the fact, the thing about it is, listen, I'm such an open book, and I've gotten spanked for saying too much, but I don't care. Like, we have tried. We went all the way up to, the tops of the offices to beg to stay in Brooklyn and Prospect Park specifically, and they just don't want our type of event in that space.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't allow us.
They wouldn't allow us to enclose.
And so obviously, once we scaled beyond, 800 people, there's safety, right? Yeah. And so every human that touches on the grass, we are responsible for.
Right.
And so, the sea of crowds, when you see our videos and you actually don't see the grass because it's humans, every single human we're responsible for. Yeah. And so we had to make decisions that have their safety, our safety at the forefront.
Yeah.
But I think the great part about a story like that is when that happened, it felt like there was no return. Yeah. It felt like close up shop. How are we ever going to come back? And we did. And we will continue to do it. Yeah. So when we talk about like, what is the landscape now? Okay, DEI, the Orange Man, like all of it. It's roadblocks. It's roadblocks, and we will figure out a way to push past it.